Hello and welcome to DBB Drills Basic Shit. Now, one of my friends, she usually ends up leaving her pictures incomplete. She'll have the basic little centerpiece person, usually doing a very awesome pose with a very delicious breasts, I must say. And usually it'll be really cute, really fun, but that's it. All she does. There's like no forest going on, no ocean, no sun, nothing really in the foreground either, like a bush. See, this is now a technically complete picture. It's not, well, of course other than colors, but fuck colors. This is what would be considered complete in most places because it's colored in. Oh, now it is. Derp. There's a basic sense of what's going on. You understand that it's not just some person sitting, it's some person sitting somewhere. It's not a flat two-dimensional piece anymore. It's actually layered. It's on the wrong layer itself. And it makes it look so much better, even with just a little bit. It doesn't even have to be in the same art style usually. Take anime, for example. Anime usually just throws out the entire concept of having the same background style. Some will have hyper-realistic bullshit like from Sonic EXE going down. We're perfectly okay with it because, hey, it's complete now. But to make a picture simply more complete with still the simplistic background, I'm going to show you today some very, very simple stuff. You don't even have to have your Photoshop or savings sheet to have this completed. Now right here is going to be our centerpiece. This is going to be Jim. One moment. Sai is dying because Fraps hates it. Hi, Jim. And Jim is going to be in some place. Let's make it a field-like thing. Never have them standing on the line. You don't want them standing on the line because it looks weird. You can have lines going towards them to give the place more levels, but you don't want it actually touching them, except for the midground. The midground can touch them because then you understand that, hey, this is a multi-piece layer. This makes it kind of mountainous rather than a field, but oh well. And Jim's going to be having a sunny day. It's going to be nice. It's going to be pretty. But there's going to be that problem still. Even though this is technically complete, this does not look complete. This is just going to be a very, very basic piece. Please bear with me. I cannot edit worth my life. And so, yeah. Jim's going to be, I guess he'll be pink because Jim, he is one for the team. But even with colors and shading, this will not be a complete piece to most people. It will technically be complete. It'll look better than if Jim had just been standing there on a colored background with some random stuff. But this trick I'm going to show you all will make things a lot easier. Let me just finish derping this around. I'm sorry. Let me take off that crappy shading. Now, this is technically a complete piece. There's color. There's things to look at. And all in all, it's good enough. You don't have to be perfect to have a perfect piece. You just have to have the basic things and then the one little thing that keeps it separate. Now above this line right here, this is your line outline. You want to make a new one. And then you want to get a very dark color, darker than the line art usually, and just cover in one corner. Once you do that, oh, derp. You get this thing going on, and you shade it. Well, not shade, but blur. Derp. I can speak English, I promise. And see, that produces a shading. You go over and turn it to multiply, or whatever Photoshop's equivalent of that is. And it makes it look more natural to all the colors around it. Now see, this does not cover the whole picture. You want to bring it up. And there we go. The picture is now shaded to some extent. It makes it look more outwards. It comes out towards us. Now you want to get a very light yellow, or whatever color you want it to be reflecting that day. Usually suns are yellow, so. Then you're going to blur this side again. Light always, always, always goes above dark, because light does vanish the dark. As much as we little whatevers I am hates it, light vanishes dark, and you want to turn it to luminosity, or whatever Photoshop's equivalent is. Make it go down to 50%, sometimes even less, and then drag it down. And now, this picture went from this to this. It's not perfect in any way, but it is a lot more detailed already. You could add shading on the insides, of course. Shading on the insides makes it look plenty better. But this is if you want to just do a quickie, make it better. Oh, derp. You can't merge those two because it hates you. But you can flip it around if you want to see what it looks like in other ways. Sure, it defies all logic, but oh well. Jim! And you can just figure out which way it looks best. Hell, you can even rotate it if you want to just try out what this looks like, but always remember if you rotate it to make sure it covers up the whole picture again. Well, at least the whole top or bottom, wherever the main focus of the light is. And that suddenly makes it look a lot better. Now to get rid of Jim and all his party. It still looks okay if you merge them together, but it doesn't look as vibrant. Now for a trick on colors, you can just go up to Filter, Brightness, Contrast, or Hues, and whatever, and just suddenly shabam. See, it just changes into really weird things. You can eventually, like, once you learn how to use it properly, you can make things look a lot more detailed suddenly. You can make it a gloomy day. It just changes all that. Wasn't supposed to be one of the things I was supposed to talk about. Oh, shit. But oh well. Now for another basic thing. Say you're drawing a place where it's glamorous, where there's going to be money or sparkles or let it go secrets. And you want to show off that it's real pretty. It doesn't necessarily have to be any of those, but it's just examples. I'm going to draw a stripper. Big booty bitches in the house! Now, again, not a basically complete picture. So, color it in to some extent. I personally hate colors. I hate it with a passion because colors give off emotions. Even if you like a color, it still gives off the wrong emotion usually than what you want to use. Same problem with a lot of words. So, I personally would love to be able to draw everything in black and white, but there's a lot of art thieves out nowadays who use them for their own drawings, bases, all that good shabam. So, always, always, always color in to some extent. That way they can't copy off you. I hate that this is a thing now, but unless you have strong copyright things, you're very likely to be fucked over. Let's just, well, no, she wouldn't be in a blue place. What the fuck am I thinking? Just gonna make a random nighttime-ish color appeal. Not bright enough. See, this does not count as a completed picture because there's no foreground, there's no midground, there's just someone and then a background. You have 3 layers of all this shabam, which I'm not sure how to exactly convey due to me not being a good teacher, but right through here would be your foreground, right here would be your midground, and then back here behind the person would be your background. I can't really draw behind her right now, but yeah. And that's how you make sure your pictures have depth to them. This I actually learned from a tutorial on DeviantArt, which was very, very freaking helpful. You just, well, I don't want to use purple because I'll use pink. You just make a bunch of dots, varying in size, of course. It's was a snow tutorial, but you can use this for very flashy effects. You go around and you blur them all. They can be perfectly circular, they can be squares, they can be crazy shit. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you can redraw them over and over and over again without much everyone. Without much hassle. See, this gives a basic appeal to what it's supposed to look like. You turn on to luminosity, or you can figure out another way to do it. Copy and paste, flip, and then put it behind her. Suddenly you have a picture with a lot more. This is supposed to show up better on top of her, but you can turn some of them onto normal. I usually use luminosity though because it blends over them, but if you want to, you can use multiply, overlay, anything you want, but I'm going to use normal because it didn't show up on our breast right. And we all know them titties got to be like freaking edited. They're fake enough as they are, but yeah. But this gives a more full feel to the picture. It's not complete in any way, but it makes it look more full. And then on top of this, if you add the fuuuuuck, it makes it look a lot better. For this lighting style, you don't even need to really add both light and dark, but I highly recommend it just so that way it looks correct. And then multiply. Yeah. And I'm very like pink because she's in a pink environment and it's all Always make sure on your light layer though it's always turned down some. This makes it look a lot more filled in. Shouldn't be covering it already, but oh well. This makes it look a lot more full, filled in, makes it look more like something's going on, something's happening. Now, overlay works a lot like luminosity, but it's less bold if you don't want something to be so bright. So also, sorry Mike, keep trying to use everything. But this makes a simplistic picture a lot more detailed. See? See the difference? And it's very easy, takes less than 5 seconds. For the two top layers right here, you don't even need the PSD or whatever the hell Photoshop calls it. That's all you really need to know. If you want to actually do your real backgrounds though, remember, this is your main place where your character usually stands. Your foreground, which is where crazy shit goes on, like plants, things that make it look more realistic. It's like a frame. And then your background's where like Steve, the guy nobody loves, is at. And that's all you really need to know to make more complete pictures. It's very simple, very whatchamajigger. That is a horrible arm. I hope this was able to teach you something because I totally did not half-ass this or anything, but yeah. Well. See y'all later, love y'all, and blah 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 blah.